Hi, my name's Sean Lee-Davies, and this is Tycoon Talk, where I get to spend some downtime with the biggest names in business. This week, I'm off to Hainan to meet Chairman and CEO of Mission Hills Group, Dr. Ken Chus. Hong Kong is one of the greatest business cities on the planet. It produces millionaires faster than anywhere else in the world, and making money is a favorite pastime. It's also getting harder, and the question is not just how to survive, but how to thrive. I've interviewed and photographed some of the biggest celebrities in the world in my time as a magazine editor, and successful people all seem to share similar traits. I'm on a quest to discover what drives a tycoon to rise above the rest. Not just to be rich, but to dominate an industry. I want to get behind the public facade and reveal their true personalities, as well as their secrets for extreme success. Walking in the footsteps of his late father, David Chus, Ken seems to have developed his father's ability for thinking big. As chairman and CEO of Mission Hills Group, he's responsible for 22 golf courses throughout China. But he's now developing far beyond the fairway. I arrive at the sprawling greenery of Mission Hills Haikou, the group's third resort in China after Shenzhen and Dongguan. The resort boasts 10 golf courses covering over 176,000 square meters. It's time to dust off my golf swing before teeing up with the big man himself. Now, of course, you had a very visionary father.
Yes.
And, a lot of people would say, you took it on from him and he did all the hard work. How much of this is your vision? How much of it is his?
Right. I came back early to assist my father from the very beginning. From the first day of Mission Hills development back in Shenzhen and Dongguan. Yeah. From the very first day, yes, he is a visionary. Yeah. And I was right beside him from the very day one. And that's why I'm so tan. I got this tan not from golfing, from all the development.
And how much did he influence you in the way you do business now? Do you have a different management style to him, or
A lot being very much the same and very different in our own way as well. A lot being the same is, he still instilled in me very key core values, such as, no pain, no gain. Right. And you sow what you see. Yeah. And that's exactly what I've done and learned from him. And
you're a very hard worker. You're a teetotaler. You don't eat red meat. You don't try to stay up for sugar, and you work out every day. You're in bed by 11 o'clock, is that all right?
Yeah, that's right. How'd you know all this?
I've been reading up a lot about your food. Ken's clearly a disciplined and driven individual. I guess you have to be if you're in charge of Asia's largest golfing empire. But now for the moment of truth. Let's see how I match up against Mr. Golf of China. So how did you get into golf?
Oh, interesting. First introduced when I was studying abroad in Toronto, in Canada, and my father bought a home attached to the golf course. Right. And I still remember my first introduction to golf. I have no idea living in a golf community what it's like, but we saw all these little white balls, and then we ran into the neighborhood golf club, and then we saw how much golf balls were selling. So my brother and I were selling secondhand golf balls. That's how I first introduced to golf, by making some pocket money.
That's an incredible story. If you're going from someone who didn't really know much about golf and wasn't that passionate about it to now running the biggest golf empire in China. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I'm proud that it's not by developing the largest golf facility in the world, but my family is able to put China in the world map of golf.
You've got this great facility which could be private, but it's actually open to the public, and you give scholarships and you let people under the age of 16 play for free.
Correct.
So in a way, you're really encouraging that, surge of young Chinese talent to come and, show the world what they're made of.
Golf in China is perceived to be an expensive game, a rich man's game, a very affluent game, but that's what I want to change. Golf internationally, it's a sport. It's a general sport. So by making golf accessible, that's what we're doing. So we've created the largest public golf resort here in Haikou. So that means golf, you don't need to, kids or anybody don't have to pay a tremendous amount for membership. And they just play as they pay. And kids under 16, as you said, play for free.
Now, this has probably got to be the best public golf course I've ever been on. Not that I've been on many, but the grass is phenomenal. Considering that it was all rock before. I mean, why is it so good?
Well, you need good UV. That's what Haikou, Hainan is all about. Good sunshine, good suntan. And that's very healthy for the grass.
Now, you could only do that really in China. Is that correct? I mean, nowhere else in the world could you get the kind of manpower to build such a huge resort in such a quick amount of time. With the techniques that you did.
It is true. I mean, we basically built the world's record with the Chinese mind and Chinese hands.
Wow. Was it easy working with the locals and getting them to cooperate?
Oh, it is. That's why we were able to build all these 10 courses in just 18 months, a year and a half.
Right. So you try to reduce the amount of fertilizer and pesticides and water usage?
Oh, yeah. Water usage is all recirculated inside the system. That's why we have a lot of lakes inside the golf course.
Right.
These are reservoirs to irrigate the golf courses.
So Ken, when you arrived here to develop this property, what was it like?
Oh, this is 10,000-year-old volcanic bed of rock. It was just rocky. We can't even walk the site. We can't even drive the site.
So this is all like rocks and just scrub, completely inaccessible?
Oh, completely. Wow. It's very raw, as raw as it can get. It's like, have you ever been to, it's like Pompeii.
Pompeii, okay, right. Yeah, so just basically.
It's all black rock, volcanic rock.
So which is the hardest tee? Which is the hardest hole on this course?
Oh, actually, we're on the easiest course today.
No, you shouldn't have told me that, Ken. I thought I was doing well.
You shot a par, not bad.
Yeah, well, it was a par with inverted commas.
The hardest course is course number 1, and that's the black stone, and number 5 is the lava fields.
Right. Have you played St. Andrews?
Yes, I have.
How does that compare to this?
Oh, it's very windy. So it's definitely not a course for you.
But now, part of your strategy here, Ken,
yes,
is big celebrity tournaments.
Right.
There's some big names, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Grant, Colin Montgomery.
Right.
So is that a deliberate, marketing strategy to get the celebrities here, to get the eyeballs on Haikou, or you just wanted to have fun?
I guess it's everything, but most importantly is to promote the game of golf. Because if you're a non-golfer, you will not tune in to watch golf on TV, or even come to a golf tournament to watch professionals play golf.
It seems like Ken is always in a rush. His version of golf is more like an Ironman endurance race, especially in this heat as we run from shot to shot. According to Ken, he can complete 18 holes in just 1 hour. Well done, Ken. Great shot.
All right.
Great game.
Thank you. All right, good game.
Ken, playing golf with you is a whole nother level. That running...
Marathon golf. Perfect.
I don't know. I'm pretty exhausted.
We just burned like 3,000 calories. Okay.
You do that every time? Wow.
Every time I play golf, I run, yes.
No wonder you're so fit. And of course, you work out every day, right?
Oh, yeah, I do.
How do you split your time up to manage all this? It's such a huge scale we're talking about. So I'm very impressed.
This is a mindset that I have. Is I never say I'm busy.
Really?
Instead, I say it's a very fulfilling day. Because if you care about a person, a meeting, or the family that you want to go home to, then you can always make time to meet all these requirements. So busy is not in my vocab.
I mean, there's so many moving parts, thousands of people under the employment. I mean, it must be a real headache, keeping everything going. Tell me about the logistics of running an operation like this.
We have, we employ 3,000 caddies.
Yeah.
And on peak days, we do like over 3,000 golfers. How do you manage to fit 3,000 golfers onto 1,700 golf carts?
Yeah.
And match with 3,000 caddies and be on the 12 courses at the right course at the right time.
That's incredible.
And at the end of the day, you're able to collect your own golf bag as well. So it is like a mini airport. It is logistic management, and that's what people give our hats off, to the creativity of the Chinese mind.
Right. Join us after the break when I ask Ken about his latest projects and about the passing of his father and how it changed him for life. Welcome back to Tycoon Talk. I've been catching up with the chairman and CEO of Mission Hills Group, Dr. Ken Chus, over a round of golf. As if Mission Hills wasn't enough to look after, Ken now shows me his two latest projects, a luxury integrated lifestyle resort and a 1940s inspired movie town.
I'm taking you back to 1942. This is the Mission Hills Kwai, Fong movie town. So this is the Republican street of the 1942, the era of the Republicans from 1925 to 1949.
How long did it take to put this together?
From the initial idea of this concept to what we have today, just as little as 2 years, 24 months.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But how are you going to make money out of this? I mean, you project to make a lot of money out of this, or is this something to bring more people to Hainan?
It's a very good crossover of Chinese movie film industry to China tourism. It's not just a movie set. It's actually it's retail commercial hub with souvenir shops, restaurants, and retail shops and movie theaters. It's not for sale, but all the shops will be leased out for rental. And there's admission tickets, and also these are natural sets for movie producers.
So do you actually have any movies penciled in to be filmed here?
Oh yeah, not only by Kwai brothers, but also from other movie production companies from China, as well as Hong Kong.
While I'm impressed by how authentic Movie Town looks, it does seem slightly incongruous building it here in the middle of a tropical island. Then again, Vegas was built in a desert. There's also more to come from this heritage-themed retail park with zones such as Nanyang Street and even Socialism Street. Next up his sleeve is the Mission Hills Lan Kwai Fong complex, a joint venture with another Hong Kong tycoon, Dr. Alan Zeman.
I'll tell you what's the funnest part about this project of me and Alan Zeman coming together, okay? It's day club, crossover, and nightclub. Perfect mixture. That's where we are. We're at this 2.2 million square feet of construction space of the Lan Kwai Fong. It's actually 10 million square feet of build out. There's also, the three hotels, Hot Rock Hotel, Renaissance, Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and there's a duty-free here.
But who's going to come here?
Just last year alone, Hainan hosted 40 million tourists.
Incredible.
That's the same as Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And that number is continue to grow because there's no visa issue to come to Hainan.
Now, your business seems to be all about superlatives. Biggest number of that, biggest square footage of this. How do you get all this land?
It's in sync with what China development is all about, urbanization, growing the GDP growth for China. Did you know that every 1% of GDP growth of China, it's equivalent to 1% of urbanization?
Right.
I mean, the middle class sector is so huge in China. Yeah. Today, the middle class for China it's 24% of our population. That population is already 300 million people. That's already larger than the entire population of USA, middle class in China today. By year 2020, the number will grow to 50%. That's like 600 million people. That's almost equivalent to the entire population of Europe. And that's where the future of growth for China is.
You're creating a small city.
The government gave us the land, and in return, we give them a city.
Obviously, you must have a special talent when it comes to talking to the government, right? For them to give you all this land and say, hey, you build us a city. What do you think that is? What's that secret?
I guess that's the secret of doing business in China.
Right.
Business in China, it's about all win. Everybody's got to win. The local community's got to win. The government's got to win. Right, that's the secret to China's success.
So it's not purely a corporate profit-driven scheme.
Yeah, it's for the greater good. It's for the vision. It's for the community. It's for the country. And of course, it's got to be profitable to begin with.
Yeah. Can I ask how much this costs? Can you divulge that?
Oh, yeah. The investment that Alan and I put in It's 1.5 billion RMB.
It's quite a lot. And how long will you take to recoup that?
It's IRR, initial rate of return about 15%.
Wow.
So that's about 6 to 7 years.
While I'm not totally convinced that business in China can be a win-win for everyone, I can't help but admire Ken's ambition and willingness to bet so big on the country's middle class. But now it's time to get out of the searing heat and somewhere a bit more comfortable back at the resort. I'm just going to ask you a little bit about your father again, because obviously he was such a key figure in your life. When your father and mother both passed away from cancer, how did that affect you?
Oh, it changed my mindset, changed my life completely. First of all, I guess I've started exercising every day, just so that I won't be able to inherit the gene.
Right.
Right. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to take the family legacy, the family name forward. So,
is that time pressure quite big in your mind? Like, do you feel that, you know, you have a lot to do in a shorter space of time because your parents passed away quite early on?
Yeah, I had to inherit, to run take over from my dad's role when I was 32.
Right.
So not only it changed my lifestyle, but also to the way that I manage and to the way that I grow the business to the Golf and More theme. Because I really want people to value their value their family, to be able to spend more time with the family.
What's your personal long-term goal?
My personal goal is to make the family name, to make my father proud, is to do something for the family name, and I want to fulfill his dream. And by doing that, by being a good person, by being a big contributor to the society, that also sends a message to the next generation as well. So it's lead by example. And the corporate goal. The mission statement is to create 3 H's for all. Happy, healthy, harmonious lifestyle to all. That's the existence, the reason why Mission Hills exists.
There are certain critics that say you can't be an environmental resort developer. What would you say to counter criticism about, you know, the environmental impact?
I'm a big believer of the 3P. Have you heard of this?
I haven't. There's been a lot of acronyms today. It's great.
Okay. Well, P does not stand for party, all right?
Okay.
First P is profit. To run a business, to run an enterprise, it's got to be profitable. Otherwise, it's a liability to the society, to people that work for you, to the colleagues. Second P is people. How do you allow your colleagues to grow with you? Half of the employment here, it's local. All the villages around here, you know, they plant, they harvest to supply for us. So that's not only good for the local community, but also good for the tourists. They get a taste of authentics. But also the third P is the planet. All my purchase, 90% of my purchase are 5-kilometer radius delivery. That's to reduce the entire carbon offset, carbon footprint. And then even you saw, you know, solar panel system for the golf carts. At night, power is cheaper, and I use electricity to make ice, and I melt ice during the day for air conditioning. And from the heat generator we have from the very big laundry room that we have, we use the heat to boil water, and water is completely recycled. And because of the good sunshine that we have, it reduces algae. When there's less algae, there's less bugs, less germs. So we use less fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and that's why we have like 70 species of birds living together with us. I don't even have to buy water to irrigate the planters, the greenscape that we have. The gray water grows through wetlands. And after the wetland, the filtration, of course, you can't drink the water, but all the flowery, all the trees can use it. So we recycle everything. The 3P stands for responsible development, responsible tourism.
And you're willing to spend extra money to make that happen?
It's actually cheaper. It's more expensive in the initial capital cost, but it's actually cheaper on a day-to-day running of the business.
Right. How is this going to affect Hong Kong? You mentioned already that there were 40 million tourists here last year. Clearly, that's going to drag people away from coming to Hong Kong. You know, they can get everything here at your new shopping mall.
No, it doesn't affect Macau or Hong Kong. Every city has their own USP, unique selling point.
What would be your advice to people running Hong Kong? Because there's been a few years where the government's been stalling on a lot of big projects. People say that the government's directionless, property's too high. Or what would be your action if you were in charge?
Oh, first of all, I'll never dream of being in charge. Don't have the capabilities of doing it. There's a core value I still see that we have in Hong Kong is time is money. And the actions that we have taken, that the government has taken to stabilize the real estate economy is crucial, very crucial. That's what the Chinese government have done as well, especially the residential community. Business profit tax is only 16.5%, and personal income taxes escalate to as high as 15%. That is so competitive.
Why don't you invest in Hong Kong then?
I will. It doesn't stop me. It's just that what my father has started, I wanted to fulfill it to begin with. And there's so much to fulfill. And hence, that's what the differences of me and my father is, that I would work with partners to fast track this pace of development and the return on investment as well.
What are your 3 top tips for entrepreneurs starting out in business?
Everybody sleeps and everybody dreams. You either wake up to chase your dream or go back to sleep and continue dreaming. And that's why I wake up early. So go and chase your dream, okay? But you must set targets. You must set goal. A goal without action, that's daydreaming. But what's even worse is if you just continue running, but without a destination, oh, that's even worse. That's a nightmare. And then the third, there's so much mistakes that you can try. You know, go try a different one every day, but just make sure you don't follow. You don't make the same mistake, because making the same mistake, that's stupid. but there's so much mistakes out there. Just continue trying. We're young. That's the biggest advantage of being young. You can afford to make mistakes. Go try a new route, a new venture.
Do you think your father, if he was looking over now, would he be proud with what you've done?
It's a lifetime goal for me.
Ken's drive to grow the Chu family legacy is clearly what focuses him. Thrust into the spotlight at just 32, he's evidently not content with settling on his father's golfing empire and is positioning himself to take full advantage of the country's tourism boom. For China's Mr. Golf, expect him to reach far beyond the fairways in the future.